Hi, welcome to the third edition of the Outer Haven Poetry Broadcast. My name is Paul Edward Costa. This is a short film bringing you poetry readings by talented literary artists Robin Kaur Sidhu, Royson Kearney, and Tawaham, plus suggestions on where writers should submit some work for publication, 2 recommendations of books by local authors, and a plug for our usual live venue of Little London Cafe in Brampton. So, let's get started.
After Angelica Perversky. I found Old Future at a party in Harlem. Strangers lit up pretty with cheap fluorescent string lights and one too many shots of bodega liquor. Old Future was a whiskey glass between red solo cups, another cigarette to lodge between lungs, and I thought Old Future would never rot, would be a smoking habit that never hurt, just eternal head rush and exhale. Old Future and I are no longer sunset hue-tinted but monochromatic memories now. Discarded cigarette butt on New York rooftop, and Old Future said we would kiss and hold hands and fuck. Old Future wanted to name the kids and the dogs. Old Future was a gift to the present, was forever and a promise pressed into pink envelopes, and I could just find a new city and fuck so many new futures that the time-space continuum would quiver under my lips. But all I want now is my bus pass to be loaded, and the fruit at the back of the counter to grow mold in slow motion, and the heartbreak to tuck itself back under the floorboards that creak under the weight of all the old new futures I hide there. I used my last Marlboro to light fire to everything Old Future left me with, and old memories go up like embers in burning ceremony, and my friends will blow away the ash, will forgive me for having a heart that yearns and breaks like day. They will tuck away the tobacco I used to hurt myself in place of Old Future, and they will put out the flames and remind me I am not a reflection of those who cannot love me. And yesterday will happen just like this.
Here are some publications where writers should look into submitting some of their work. Brighton Press is seeking writing for an anthology of poetry, fiction, and nonfiction with a Scorpio theme. Their deadline is January 15th, 2021. Seaborn Magazine is a digital publication with a mission to celebrate Mother Nature's seas and oceans. They publish biannual issues of atmospheric fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and visual artwork, and they respond quickly in about 2 weeks or so. Gnashing Teeth Publishing is seeking short poetry and illustrations on the theme of winter for a limited edition handbound zine. Anti-Heroin Chic is a collective journal of poetry, photography, artwork, stories, essays, and interviews. It's also a journal of commentary on forms of inclusion and exclusion. It's an anti-drug addiction safe space, striving to publish work by those who have been affected by addiction and those who have been left out in the cold in all sorts of ways, with this open to diverse interpretation. And lastly, Literary Mama is seeking fiction, poetry, creative nonfiction, as well as book reviews, profiles, and original photography by anyone who identifies as a mother, including those hoping to conceive and those who have lost a child. They want writing rooted in and inspired by the experience of motherhood in all its variations, seeking fresh perspectives, superior craft, and vivid imagery. They are actively seeking work by traditionally underrepresented voices. So there are a few recommendations. Make sure you send some of your work their way.
This is my poem, Draggin Dusk. I am sick of sunlight in the distance. Dusk glows on the urban horizon. From Surrey, westbound downtown, SkyTrain nears the end of its cemented line. In transit, looking at the window like that sunshine will be here soon, eventually. Yeah, fucking okay. I'm just tired of always being in it, you know? Rainy days and regressive moods, that fucking day-to-day. Deadlines draw closer like eastbound to Scott Road Station, and my train is always fucking late. Prepare for another class, another U-Haul, another kindling of hearth and hall. SkyTrain simulation, separated from the land, instant messages, phone calls, scheduling secretaries, seriously wondering where to rest my hyperactive headphones. I'd hang them up with my coat, but no hangers on transit. Damp dreams of sunny days, and I awake asthmatic, smoke another cigarette, walk molded frame hallways to apartment rooftop and see another day, another misted cloud roof, another goddamn dusk shining away in the distance, and I'm still in it, rituals of coping, video games or mental health days from work or missed messages, stress strings of desperate Facebook statuses. At home, in bed, on my walk to the train, in between the Nanaimo and Commercial Broadway, I start to wonder if chronic pain is giving rise in crick crack, neck crack, knuckle crack, unsatisfied snap. Please, don't let it be that. Weather passes down intergenerational trauma stored in my bones, tendons strained by hypertension. I'm reminded to keep track of my blessings, take stock of the lessons and cut the bus loop, change direction. If the dust drags down shimmering light in the distance, I'm only in it for as long as I stay stationary. Repeating transit cycle, 56 kilometers, 2 river crossings from downtown to Newton and back. I seek a sunrise I will fly to find. Take flight off rooftop patio and out from below train tracks that clip wings onto clear horizons, those sunny Nahiao plains. Hi.
The first book I'd like to recommend to you is called Clockfire. It was written by Jonathan Ball and published by Coach House Books in Toronto. A fellow teacher sent this to me, believing that I would enjoy it, and she was absolutely right. The book is a collection that consists of small vignettes that are blueprints for plays that would basically be impossible to produce due to their surreal nature, and I just loved it, and it's become one of my favorite books ever since. The second book I'd like to recommend to you is a collection of poetry titled She's Having a Doris Day. It was written by Jeff Kirby and published through his shop Knife Fork Book in Toronto. I first met Jeff at a Festival of Literary Diversity book fair in Brampton City Hall, in which we both took part. I've since attended readings he has organized and have seen him speak on a panel for the Word on the Street Festival at Harbourfront. It's a dynamic and powerful collection of poetry, and I highly recommend that you check it out.
Individuality. One day I hope to see everybody free to be who they want to be with no apology. Respect opinions, but they're only a view. Others can't decide what's right for you. You have to do what you want to do and live your life respectful and true. I know it's okay not to be okay. We all have a dark down day. But if you can't be yourself, it will never go away. Because faking a smile will only last a while. Can't live life in denial. Feel like your head's on trial, where your mind is the judge and your head is the prison, and you feel like you've been in a head-on collision, and then you make a decision with such tunnel vision. They say make your choice and you live with it too. You don't feel like living, so exist is what you do. It doesn't have to be true. So let's all respect individuality. Have a vision of where you want to be. Live up near the mountains or down by the sea. A beautiful life, you would have to agree. But then there's no provisions to travel the roads, and meanwhile the land that gets bought and sold. Well, I hope that they enjoy that gold, but like their gold, their hearts are cold. Diversity needs to be embraced, a home for everyone displaced. Fuck colour, fuck creed, protest rich man's great. And when all walks of life live in this world as one, it's then that we know that equality is one. Remember, every mistake, stain and scar, it's moulded who you are. There'll be times when you want to cry, there'll be times when you want to die, but you'll always get by, so keep on reaching for the sky. Remembering you hold the key to happiness and tomorrow, so live your life, be free, and free your mind from sorrow, because we all live, we all die, we all love, we all cry. You've got to be who you want to be. I can't be you, and you can't be me. Thank you.
Our usual live venue is a place called Little London Cafe in Brampton. It's located on Polonia Avenue near Steeles and Shinkuzi. It's owned by Jazz and Kamal Singh, and they've been selling wonderful creations like their high tea box, fresh baked scones, vegan kimchi sweet potato bites, barbecue tandoori chicken and rice, steak and egg breakfast sandwiches, and more. So definitely check out this establishment and show them some support. Raised to follow this aged art, your master barely endures in secret, more sacrifice than student, before a forced unlearning. You'll find the Scholars' Lounge empty when you arrive. They saw what draws near. So now you'll run, and then convince yourself this was your goal, with no atonement from proponents of the futile path. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.